South Park has a very bad case of TDS, and every single next episode is always the same. So, why have they changed? Why no longer are they going after everyone? Well, it turns out we have a business reason that we've uncovered, and we can't wait to show it to you. Matt Parker, Trey Stone, suddenly turning Cartman into the Orange Man Clown Show we thought they'd avoid. Hello, folks, and welcome back. It is the WDW Pro Channel, where we give you the news you need to know, often days before the drive-bys even get a whiff of what we're going to gift you in terms of understanding the hallowed halls of Holly Weird. As we dive into what's happening at South Park, at Skydance, at Paramount, click the like button, drop a comment down below. Let us know when's the last time you tuned in to Cartman, Butters, and the rest of the gang. And folks, we'll tell you what's really going on. What is the game behind the guys at South Park and their new constant TDS? All right, folks, it's everywhere. It's out there. South Park has absolutely become obsessed with TDS. According to darkhorizons.com, South Park returned with a new episode this week, and with it came an unexpected bit of news. It wasn't the 6th episode of season 27, but the first episode of season 28, which means absolutely zero, nothing. It's just a strange thing that involves South Park and how their contracts are written. Despite the season name change, fans of the long-running satire are still expecting to get 4 more episodes this year. Recent episodes of the series have drawn strong viewership with its skewering of topical issues involving Trump, ICE, FCC, tariffs, along with making fun of the show's owner, Paramount, Skydance, buddies of the Orange Man. In other words, this is a season that is not bouncing all around the different topics that South Park usually does. Every single time it's on, it's about the Orange Man. Out of the hill this time we go. And who's our author here? Ashley Fields. Ashley Fields says, that's right. A Friday episode of South Park mocked Attorney General Pam Bondi by depicting her with feces on the face to paint the concept that she's a brown noser. In the Halloween episode of the satirical animated show, Bondi was directed to investigate a threat to, well, Satan, who is in a relationship with the Orange Man in this cartoon. And now, Satan is depicted as being pregnant in the show. Quote, "We won't let any harm come to the baby of the greatest president that ever lived. You are without equal, sir," Bondi said before someone tells her about a brown substance on her nose. In other words, folks, I mean, this is just, it's gratuitous.
They used to be witty, didn't they?
They did. They did.
So what,
So what in the world is going on?
Really?
Lou, guess what? They're sick of it too. No, really, truly, they're sick of it too. Look at this. William Earl and Jack Dunn have this out of Variety. South Park Halloween episode. Stan complains South Park sucks now because of politics. So the authors literally wrote in that, South Park sucks. Well, why would they keep doing this then? Let me read just a little bit. South Park got meta on its October 31st Halloween episode as Stan voiced the dissent of some fans by saying, South Park sucks now because of all of this political crap, referring to recent White House storylines every single episode. Of course, being that this is South Park, his solution was to create South Park Sucks Crypto and send Kyle's cousin, Kyle Schwartz, to ask Trump for protection for this meme coin scheme. But the writers now, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, the creators, writers, directors, everything in between, they're even saying, in their commentary, this sucks. This sucks. So then why? Why is South Park Studios devoted to the suckage that is TDS every single week? Well, what if I told you we have the answer? The Quartering, by the way, go watch his video. He's talking about how they can't even stand it, Trey Parker, Matt Stone. But we got the answer. We got it exclusively right here. Ready? Here it is. This is what is happening. If you go to Google Trends and you search essentially almost the entirety of the show, can you believe it? Google is actually younger than South Park. So we can only go back to 2004. South Park is older than that. I think South Park goes back to 1997, if my memory serves me correctly. So Google comes in with Google Trends available in 2004. I don't know exactly when Google started, but this is as far back as you can go on Google Trends. And folks, you can see that for the early 2000s, South Park was rising, and then dropping. Now, South Park had one huge, massive hit that sent it almost back to the highest level it had been since I believe this is the World of Warcraft episode back here. What did it? Making fun of Disney's Star Wars. That's this peak you get right here. March 2023, making fun of Disney Star Wars. What got it back up again? Because look, I mean, ever since the early 2000s, South Park has been on the just decline. Truly, I mean, just the decline. This is Google searches, people wanting to watch it, trying to find it. Where is it? Been on the decline. The Disney thing popped them way up, but they didn't want to keep doing that. So they've been back down, 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 down. TDS, the return, got them back up to a very big number, and then they're trying to win. They're trying to be relevant, and I suppose the way that they're doing it is to try to keep going with that first episode. They're desperate to not get back down where they were before. I kind of feel sorry for these guys. Lauren, do you buy that as the reason, or is this too simplistic? What do you think?
I don't really watch the show, and so I can't say from a fan's perspective, but from a business standpoint, yeah, if they're getting eyeballs on something that trended like that and they can maintain it, it makes sense that you continue that because that's what the advertisers are going to want.
Well, why, though, Lauren, would they not mock Disney Star Wars more? Why would they not make fun of Marvel more? What do you think is causing them to stay away from that? Because that's really where I think they could take off and just do wondrously well. If they were making fun of Mandalorian and Grogu and all that kind of stuff, they would be doing, you don't think so?
No.
Oh my gosh, did we stumble into something here? Do you think that Trump is the only thing they can talk about because Disney's devastated its brands?
Well, kind of. What I was going to say is that what got you that bump for the Star Wars episode is non-South Park fans who wanted to see Star Wars get roasted. Those people who are watching South Park and are of the persuasion that goes into the Trump derangement syndrome stuff are going to be the fans of the sequel trilogy. They don't really care about the original stuff. So they're going to be the ones who want to see Trump mocked.
Interesting.
Star Wars is cratered so badly that it's not an audience draw anymore, except to see them roast Disney.
Lou, you think they're covered up in TDS?
No. I think it's simpler than that. And that is the thing that always drove South Park is, did you see what they did last week? My God, what are they going to do next?
Right. Absolutely. And now we know.
If we now know what they're going to do next and next, I'm bored. Let's find something else.
Well, isn't it, if you look at it, the baseline that appears to be forming, and we can actually narrow this down. So we get cut off right now. We're in November 2025, so it's actually tracking this month. That's interesting. Okay, so in July, they jumped up to one of the highest numbers they've ever had. Now, if you're in, what is it, season 27 right now? Is that where we are, season 27? If you're in something like that, season 27, if you're somewhere around there and you suddenly jump up to the third highest mark or thereabout, I mean, they haven't had, other than the Disney thing, they haven't had. It's been since 2000, 2010?
And
yeah,
this 2010. Is the regular episodes, not the specials, right?
No, it's anything at all for South Park.
Okay.
They haven't had that kind of a burst since 2010. Basically, if you exclude the Disney thing, okay, which is a one-off, and that's great, they haven't had that kind of response since 2010. So I think that what they decided was, man, we have been down here in relative irrelevancy. So what if we just do that over and over again and see what happens? And as long as we can maintain that, that's what we're going to do, because this is going to keep us going. I don't know what you guys think about it. Ron, what do you say?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember watching South Park when I was younger and like toward the beginning, and jokes. There were certain jokes that even I found back then that went stale. One of the biggest ones, of course, being the Kenny joke at the end of every episode. What happens to Kenny? And that, I think that's their biggest problem. I think that they're trying to find something that prevents them from going stale, but they just don't have any new ideas. And the only thing they have to clamor on to is Trump, because it gets some kind of attention. The Disney thing got a lot of attention, but I would not be surprised if Disney turned to the creators and say, hey, we want you to stop doing that. How much? Obviously, we have no guarantee that kind of thing happened, but I would imagine in the entertainment industry. There is talk amongst people, whereas you attack politics, they can do kind of whatever you want. They can attack Trump all they want, and they can have these ridiculous storylines about him. They're probably going to lose at least half the audience. But again, that may not be the audience that they had in the first place at this point in time. So maybe they feel like they've got nothing left to lose by going that direction.
Right. Well, I want to bring on somebody who may be able to assist us with what is making South Park so stuck on TDS. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the channel yet again. It is the real life fake wizard. Sir, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here. I'm not happy for South Park, though. I miss when it was funny. I don't think it really is anymore. I think the Trump jokes they've lost their flavor. That was good maybe back in 2016, 2017. It's 2025. We've all watched enough late night television to get enough Trump jokes for a lifetime. I wish that they would go back to doing each episode as being an individual story like it was since heyday. And ever since they switched the show over to being long-running stories, long-running gags for the entire season, it's lost my viewership. And I know for a fact, based on these analytics here, that it's lost a lot of people's viewerships. I have no interest in watching South Park anymore. Ron was making very good points before. The jokes, they're just not landing like they used to. And no amount of billions of dollars seems to be able to change that.
What if the idea here is that Cartman cannot compete with what the real world has become in their eyes? Now, I'm not saying that's true necessarily. I'm just saying that in their eyes, maybe Cartman can no longer compete with what's really going on. And a lot of the South Park stuff, a lot of the fun of it was that the town would kind of go crazy and they get the mob and all that. Well, man, in 2000 and beyond, it kind of went that way, eh? And so maybe they're just trying to find some kind of audience. You also have to wonder, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, maybe they got tired of Star Wars, not because of, get that to play for a minute, not because that it wasn't popular. And maybe the thing is, these guys did the Book of Mormon. They had great success with Broadway. They want to make video games. They're interested in this other stuff that's on the periphery outside of South Park. And maybe going after Trump is a way that they can ingratiate themselves and get some more business deals done in Tinseltown and Hollyweird. I don't know. But these are all options, yeah.
And yet, the performers at Casa Bonita are now on strike because they weren't making a deal with them. I noticed somebody in the Super Chats mentioned that. I should give credit where credit is due. Archer Merchant did for $10 if you want to go find that.
We need to tell people what Casa Bonita is. It was featured in one of the South Park episodes.
Is this joke Mexican restaurant with cliff divers and performers and mariachis and whatever that we first even heard about on South Park, but then they actually bought it and renovated it and reopened it and thought it would be a big, huge hit. And so did the performers, who said, well, we want to get paid a little more. And they said no, and now they're on strike. That doesn't bolster their lefty credentials, right?
It does not. But folks, if you were wondering, what is it that's causing them to stay on this? It's because they got a hit. They got a hit they hadn't seen in 15 years outside of Disney. And maybe they do fear. Maybe they fear going after Disney over and over. Maybe they think the attorneys are going to get them. But they can win, they believe. They can raise that baseline and become relevant again, if only by staying on this one thing every single time we get a new episode. Only problem is it's a decline in the humor. I believe they're chasing the very short term at the expense of the long term. But when you're in episode or season 27, maybe they're out of gas anyway. We'll see, folks. We'll find out. I know you want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice, right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you. And although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, that Park Place, that Game Place, and that Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
Want it all, so I give them cannonball. Yeah.
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio.
Arizona. Pineapple pizza, Hawaiian ice freeze, yeah. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me.
What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.